Allegiance followed by the prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Commissioner Williams, will you please lead us in prayer?
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day that you have granted us. Father, be with us this day as we do the business of Mills County. Father, bless these officers that are here today that we honor. Father, be with each and every one of their families as they are working diligently to protect our community. Father, bless our county with some rain. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Well, again, welcome everybody. We got a good crowd. You're welcome to come on in and find a spot to sit. And of course, we got numerous folks here for certain events that are on our agenda. And after your item is done, you're welcome to leave during our commissioner's court. Please silence your cell phones. We do have a quorum. And for the amended agenda, first thing, number 2 is open sealed depository bank bids. If you remember about a month or 2 months ago, we sent out bank depository contract timeline. And we have received 2 bids in from MC Bank and from Cadence Bank. And these have been sealed up and we're to open these up. And then eventually the committee that we have will go through all this information. So I will start opening the first sealed bid. And it's sealed pretty good. Yeah, sharp. Yes, it's sealed good. Okay, first bid I'm opening is from MC Bank. No. I'm sorry, Cadence Bank. Cadence Bank. Which again, we will turn over to our treasurer and we will have the committee meeting soon. This is from Cadence Bank. The second bid is from MC Bank. And again, we've received a bid from MC Bank also on this. Okay. So as the timeline depicted earlier, the bids are open during Commissioner's Court session. Bids are then given to the County Treasurer for analysis. February 27th, Commissioner's Court will award bank depository contract to selected bank. And then February 28th, letter will be sent out to the bank, rewarded the contract. Okay. Takes care of that. Okay. 3, review and act on minutes of January 23rd and February 6th of 23.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes as written from January the 23rd and February the 6th as presented.
Okay, we got a motion made by Commissioner Williams to approve the minutes on 23rd and February 6th.
I'll second.
We got a second by Commissioner Parton. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, Julie, can you see if we got audience with individuals? And some of these may want to wait. Do you have a list of everybody? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Mr. Roscoe, I think, Mr. Roscoe, you want to wait till we come up to your item on the action agenda? Yes, sir. That'd be okay? Yeah, that'll be coming up a little bit. Is that all we have, Julie? Yes, sir. Okay. Number 5, review and act on accounts payable.
You want to go ahead and do the presentation and then we go back to all that other stuff.
Well, whatever you, yeah, if we want to do that, we can go back to the accounts payable and everything.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, we're going to skip to the under the action agenda. Number 6 is awards presentation by Sheriff Hammonds. Sheriff Hammonds, you want to come up? Okay. Well,
Well, we can go back. and
let's
do the
go back,
others.
let's go back, let's go back to the
Okay,
consent
gotcha.
agenda. Okay. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna reverse action and go back to the review and act on accounts payable, number 5. So if y'all in your package, you got all the accounts payable, go through all that.
Dale, on your PF and E, did you, is that this? What is that, 500 gallons or something, or? No, all. Oh, it's just oil. I thought it was awful cheap. Yeah. Um. The Edge. Summer, can you hear me? I was looking at the Edge Team Technology on page 10. I've never seen that account before. Is that a new account?
I don't know that it's necessarily a new account. It's not something I've seen in my time in office.
Okay,
But it is a sheriff's department expense, so maybe they have more to add on that.
it's Fortinet security appliance. Do you know what that might be?
What is it again?
I don't know. I mean, it's Fortinet. It's highlighted. Fortinet.
That is the jail monitor where they check the inmates and it keeps a record of that.
I just hadn't seen that company before.
Well, it's one of the payments on it.
Oh, so this is that one that was approved in court.
Correct.
Okay.
The last court out of chapter
And that's the
59.
last payment, right?
I think there's maybe one more.
Okay, so. That's all I have. Oh, no, there was, I asked, and I don't know if y'all saw it on the back page 19. City of Goldthwaite, and it's the ARA funds. We overpaid, if you'll look, by 2 cents. We had to be reimbursed. We had to reimburse.
Okay.
So that's what that 2 cents is. Oh. Any other, I don't have any other after that.
Okay. Any other questions on accounts payable?
Make a motion that we approve accounts payable when as written.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Williams on accounts payable. I'll second that. Any other questions on accounts payable? All those in favor of approving the accounts payable, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None opposed? And Sheriff Hammonds, are you ready or? Now we are. Okay. Remind me to come back to the consent agenda. We will skip to number 6, awards presentation by Sheriff Hammonds. It's all yours, Sheriff Hammonds.
Also, that's the thing, if y'all like to come up as well, going to see that. I didn't make it clear. Oh, yeah, you're. Ms. Bowman. I'm sorry, I didn't make it clear. We're in this all up.
No, you're fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, the report on October 15th, 2022, approximately 1:35 a.m. Deputies Caleb Hobson and Son Drake responded to a motor vehicle versus pedestrian. Deputies Hobson and Drake arrived and found a woman later identified as Leah Folger, suffering traumatic injuries. Deputy Hobson quickly began administering first aid. Deputy Drake immediately began protecting the scene to prevent it from further injury. Deputy Drake also coordinated emergency medical responders and a life flight helicopter. Doctors reported that it had not been the deputies Hobson and Drake's training and quick action, this Folger may not have survived. Today, I ask all of you, please stand and honor these men for their heroic action.
Officer Drake, I appreciate, more than words could express, and, the gratitude that I have inside is, it overflows, and I appreciate everything that you did. And, on behalf of Mills County and my family and Mr. and Mrs. Todd and Rita Bostic. Thank you. Officer Hofster, without your skills and your service to the community, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair. As I said with Officer Drake, that words just can't express the gratitude, and I just thank you from the very bottom of my heart that still beats today because of you gentlemen. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think there's a couple more individuals that want to speak. Want to come on up?
Mr. Chalmers, if you'd like to speak to, you're welcome to speak.
Yes, I would.
Yes, sir. Just come up to the. Up there.
So my name is Todd Bostic. My wife and I were the first one seen to find Lee in that night. We live in Vernon. We have been on this road through Wilkes, Wilkes County. Numerous times our sons went to school out in Lubbock. So that particular weekend, we were coming back from New Mexico. And, traveling at night, less traffic, things like that, but we never expected to find someone, a human being like on the road. Our phone service isn't from here, so when we come through this area, it says extended service. We had a hard time getting food at 911, but on the third attempt we did, and they put us to Brown County. And we were on hold, waiting for Mills County to get on the phone and talk to us. And the whole time we were there with Leanne, and that for somebody that doesn't see it every day like you guys may, it's pretty unnerving to see this side. So take pride in knowing that your guys have been well trained, they're serving the county well, and this may not be something they do day in, day out, but they're here for not only the county, but the public coming through here. They were very professional, they did the job well, and I guarantee you, if it wasn't for these two, Leanne wouldn't be here today. So, and also Garrett, we've been in communication with him, talking, very, very good people we have here. The whole system works well. So anyway, I'd like to say, good job. Job well done.
Good morning. My name is Cliff Chalmers and I'm Lean's dad. Excuse me. I could just replay what he just said. That was very well spoken. I want to thank you, gentlemen. I want to say thanks to God. Had it not been for you gentlemen, that morning, we wouldn't be here. I think we all know that. Our mother and I will be eternally grateful to both of you. And, I just want to say thanks again. Shake your hand.
Clint, anything else? And on behalf of the Commissioners Court, gentlemen, ditto, y'all gone above and beyond the call of duty. So we're lucky to have such trained professionals here in Mills County. So thank you. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
This is her mom.
Sure. Okay. Jimmy, you have anything else you want to say or anything? Well, again, your dedication.
Hot seat,
Oh,
man.
no. And I tell you what, we got people coming and going. It's been suggested we do about a 5 or 10 minute break, recess. So let's do about a 5 or 10 minute recess here. Be back in about 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah. What about visit?
Gonna start recording again.
You go ahead and start. Okay. You gonna rush on downstairs? Okay. Okay, folks, we'll get started again here in about 30 seconds. As Jackie rushes downstairs. Okay. Yes,
We had more that.
go ahead and speak, okay? Okay, we'll go ahead and go back up to that. Yes, we already missed the audience individuals, but you want to speak? I guess we can go ahead and back up and go do that real quick. Yes, we'll be glad to do that. Okay, Ms. Graham, good morning. Yes, we already bypassed audience individuals, but we will sure back up for you and come up here and please talk to us. We're kind of going back and forth on agenda anyway today.
Thank you.
Yes, good morning.
See it in the paper, but, there will be a patriotism class being presented at the law enforcement center at 6 o'clock on Thursday, this coming Thursday. And I just wanted to invite you to come this morning about this. It's being presented by, he's a teacher in Richmond, but she's developed this one. She's, there with us.
It's what again?
A patriotism class.
Yes. And where's it taking place at? Okay,
At 6 o'clock.
okay. Well, thank you, Ms. Graham. Okay. I think we need back up to do the consent agenda, correct? So, gentlemen, if you'll go through the consent agenda, please.
Couple things that I want to make note of is on the monthly county treasurer's report. If y'all didn't see that, look at the text pool holders there. That's pretty cool on the interest that we're making. I know it takes for somebody wanting to borrow a loan, but it's doing good for us right now.
Yes.
That is really nice to get that much income from them.
Yeah, that is nice. And as you can see, all departments are, as always, extremely busy.
I didn't compare it, but the MCAD looks a little low on. Usually I think it's 90% people paying their by the end of January, so that's a
lot of that could have been the fact that they were not there.
the cold, yeah, they shut down.
I have a comment on the MCAD. They will do, they're 2 weeks behind on giving out funds, so we will see a big payment probably on February 15th.
Okay,
Really busy on the consent agenda. Guy went up. I have a couple questions for Guy. Think he's still here?
Guy, are you here? He was here earlier. There he is, yeah. Come on up here, Guy. Good morning.
On the courthouse, did that south door break? Or is it just, did it spring the hinges again, or is it just?
I was able to repair it.
Okay. So, because last time that was close to $1,000 to get fixed.
Yeah, $650 for the door closure. I was able to rewind the spring on.
And then a lot going on with the 1880 jail. Could you kind of go over that a little bit?
Yeah,
The historical commission has approved this? Or?
yes, the historical commission, they authorized me to accept proposals for repairs and present it to commissioners for y'all's approval. I've received a proposal from RG Floors for repair. I've received from Architects Mechanical to install the air conditioning mini split. I've also received from Weldon Wilson, the electrical.
But you're not presenting those here.
No, this is I'm gonna have this on the agenda for the next commission.
We're still waiting from a couple of quotes from some people that still hadn't got back to us,
Yes,
correct?
I've got 2 more to come in.
That's what I was more concerned about.
Yeah, I'm gonna meet with Victor Sanchez, Prominent Painting. I'm gonna meet with him this week. So I will have another
proposal to finish up the inside, but, some, discussion is gonna have to be made on if they're gonna keep it, wood, or if we're gonna paint over it, stain it or paint over it to keep the historic value, so that's something.
And you mean the historical society? Like that decision.
Actually, the decision is gonna be up to the commission's court. The Texas Historic Society, they will make recommendations, but it's Shell's call.
You know, I was looking back in there later after we left on the 1888 jail, and so those window sills are blue, some are white, some are the natural color. And in my opinion, that natural color, the brown looks best.
Yes, sir. And that's the only reason I'm bringing it up is
Yeah.
because some of the repairs have been done and they've been painted over, including the fireplace, which, when you look at the rest of the building, it's got the natural stain on the door framing and one door and several of the windows. So it's going to be one of two choices, either painting or staining. I wouldn't leave them the way they are. I'd go one way or the other, and staining would keep it a short value, of course. It's going to be a little more expensive, but and it'll match the floors when they refinish the floors.
Okay.
That was my concern. Thank you, sir.
Okay, on consent agenda, any other questions, comments, discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as reported and written.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Williams. Second's been made by Commissioner Head. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, moving down, number 7, Sheriff Hammond's consider an act on declaring 2 office chairs at law enforcement's office as scrap. What? Do you need to talk to us about that? Okay. So there's just 2 old chairs that are pretty well done. All right. Questions, gentlemen? I'm all for making a motion to consider and declare these as scrap. Second's been made by Commissioner Parton. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Ayes have it. Okay, consider an act on appointing a representative to the Mills County Central Appraisal Board, Mills Central Appraisal Board. I don't know who all, if anyone has any nominees. I've had Brandon Greeby has offered for his services to be on the Mills Central Appraisal Board.
I've reached out to about 4 and I've had 2 decline as of this morning, so I've got 2 maybes, not 100%. Wyvon Sutherland and Tracy Hollingsworth.
Okay, good.
So whatever the court.
Is Tracy,
And then I guess Brandon Greeby, unless anybody else has got any.
anybody else have any other names or nominees?
And if y'all remember, this is because Jason
Garlic.
has resigned from the Mills Central Appraisal District. He is the board president, but he took his job or took another job, or basically he's not going to be able to do this for the board or us. So that's where our names are. Whoever y'all got, if y'all got any other names.
Do y'all have any other names? Now back to Wyvon and Tracer. You said maybe?
There are maybes, they haven't given 100%. So if Brandon's the only one that's given 100%, then that would be our decision today.
Okay.
But
Well, Brandon has said he is 100% committed to be on it if he's approved. So I'll make a motion to appoint Brandon Greeby as representative to the Mills Central Appraisal Board.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but Cody also asked if maybe I would think about being on the board, and I told her I would, and Brandon's fine. I just wanted you to know that I had been asked to be on the board and told her I would. So there's that.
Okay. So,
Yeah, but you've already got a motion, so that.
Yeah. Just so that
okay.
you didn't say all names weren't presented.
Okay. Well, we had a motion for Brandon. A second was made by Commissioner Wright. So I made a motion for Greeby, a motion by Commissioner Wright. All those in favor of Brandon Greeby say aye. Aye. Any opposed? One opposed. Ayes have it. with one opposed. Got that, Julie? Okay. Number 9 is consider an act on releasing Swift Energy Current and Council Gap Windrow Use Bond. Commissioner Head, I think that's yours, isn't it?
Yeah.
And do we have anybody on Zoom or your people here? Or
Mr.
Yes.
Pritchard has not joined. Oh,
Yeah, come on in. Good morning. Yeah, come on up to the mic. I'm sorry, your name was.
Michael Pritchard.
Yeah, Michael. Yeah, Michael. Michael Pritchard is here today. Good morning, Michael. Commissioner Head, you want to start the ball rolling or?
Well, I mean, me and him talked and, me and Jason Pritchard. Yeah, Jason talked and, we've, they talked quite a bit and they bladed some that I think it was part of the original agreement. We had them, add a 10 horn in where they covered one up. We had them go in and put one there and then, a few people's pastures had them to, kind of terrace it because the water was going to be coming off the hill kind of quick there.
Okay.
I mean, I guess they've pretty much done better than they're gonna do.
Are you satisfied?
Yeah, I mean.
Okay.
Okay. Any comments?
No, if there's anything that we would like us to address, then just let us know. But we're onboarding and commissioning the turbines, and everything's operating smoothly right now.
If you're fine, Robert, I'll make a motion that we release Swift Current Energy and Castle Gap Road Use Bond.
I'll
Okay.
second it.
We got a motion by, that's, okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Head. Any other discussion, questions? Commissioner Rod, anything? Okay, no other discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Thanks for coming. Okay. That was number 9. Now we're gonna do a little skip around again because I've had a note from our sheriff. Let's go on to number 17. They have some time constraints right now, so we're gonna come back to 10 later. So we're gonna go to number 17. Consider an act on bid specs for camera system at the jail and courthouse. Sheriff Hammonds, go ahead.
I assume everybody got the form that we sent out forms last week to the judge's office on the
Yes,
request for bid.
yes, sir.
That is something I took some of the wording from other ones and just kind of pieced one together, and that was about as simple as I could get it without getting too technical. Talking about Velcro and wires and everything else, and I didn't know if y'all had time to review it. And if y'all did, I had went ahead and put a date on it, which should leave us quite a bit of time to have you come through and walk through the facilities. And I included the courthouse in there as well. I think
So
might get a better deal.
the question that I have is why the 2 different RFPs?
Or
Yeah, I mean, that's what you're doing request, right? And then Goldsmith.
that came from Goldsmith and I didn't like it. So I created my own, present to the court. Now, the court can go with Goldsmith or
Okay.
they can choose that, or somebody can draw up their own. But if anybody could,
So can I ask some questions on yours again? On page 2, it's got all sites or
17.
or power over Ethernet.
Mhm.
Are all of our sites right now over Ethernet?
uh,
Because you're saying that all of them are they? Because
and that,
the original you said was analog in there, so that wouldn't be over Ethernet.
right. And that's just, yeah, we can take that in.
Well, I just. It mentions power over Ethernet a lot.
Well, and some of that is gonna be your outdoor camera system and stuff of that thing.
But they're not over Ethernet
Not-
right now.
No.
So you're saying you want.
This is, with this, And you know, it's an addition, you'll be able to view from everywhere. You know, if we go with the same company and they install in the courthouse, that means we'll be able to view what's going on in the courthouse at that point in time. And I know in the past that we had to come up here and make an attempt to draw video out of that system in JP's office, and it's just not user friendly at all.
So who vetted this one? I mean, since you just pick and choose from different, you see what I'm saying? You took different forms and stuff and created, I mean, is this made for our facilities, what I'm saying? Because
I
it looks
created
like it's a
for us.
form. It looks like it's a form from several different ones, not necessarily for us.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I created an RFP. And that's what I'm getting.
Who is the company? Or is it?
Well, this is not,
We're
this is,
requesting for bids. That's, there's no bigger on it.
the last point, bullet point, it says.
This is just what you think means to be in the system.
So does, I mean, a lot of this is in this other one, it's just worded different. And it's shortened. I mean, instead of all these pages versus this one. One, two.
Well, look at Goldsmith, they're very specific on, and you gotta use Dell computers, you gotta use Dell prototype wireless stuff, and I didn't want to be thumbed down on something and make it a requirement.
Yeah, and those are some questions I had for them too. I don't know, is anybody from Goldsmith online?
I think Drew, are you online, Drew? Good morning, Drew. He's here.
But we'll just, since we're on yours, it says the provider shall have experience managing significant scales in the field. What is a significant scale? I mean, is that one? Or are you talking?
Well, I would. Things significant would mean more than one.
It's okay. And then you've also said that they must work with our IT people,
The Goldsmith.
which would be Goldsmith. But yet Goldsmith didn't have anything to do with writing the RFP. So is that going to be a conflict?
Like I said,
Has Goldsmith seen this? No,
no,
no.
I mean, the day they showed up in court, they handed me a copy of theirs. Well, I would assume somebody would have been here today, so I can hand them a copy. With no pre-presentation, being the last time the court, other than it was handed to me while I sat here on the bench. Like I said, this is just a draft. I don't care if you use it or not, we're just trying to be helpful, and if you don't want to use it, that's fine with me. I was just trying to make it simple where we could all understand it.
Okay.
And since we got Goldsmith and Drew's online, let me go ahead and I've got, the sheriff did bring up a question that I had also.
About the Dell computers.
Yeah, I gotta get to it. Page 11. Agenda item C and agenda items B. I don't think that statute allows us to just pick one vendor over another. Can you answer maybe that question?
Yeah, and we did get your question on that, and thank you for the opportunity to respond to that. And you are correct, that does need to be adjusted. We would suggest that have added with the words approved alternate / business line. Our intent there is to have standardization across the county with all IT equipment, particularly computers. Southwest Airlines did an outstanding job of differentiating themselves in the market by having one plane, saved them thousands of millions of dollars because they had one plane and they knew what they were dealing with. We would recommend that to the county to have one particular standard. Not saying it has to be Dell, but a standard for all computer equipment. And so that's why we've written it that way. And it does need to be edited to say, or alternate approved business line, so that the vendor has an opportunity to say, hey, we would feel it would be better to go with this computer. Here's how it meets that specs and the cost savings by going with that, which would be an opportunity to review during this RFP process.
Okay,
And staying on that same page, item number H, it says all subscriptions-based licensing. What does this mean? I'm not quite understanding with the warranty of 5 years.
Yeah, so particularly with a cloud-based system, which the sheriff would want, we would want, that is what you're going to go with. There is going to be some ongoing fees for storage of data, for access of data. And so what we've requested there in H is that it be defined in the initial proposal for the first 5 years be included, and then break out what the cost would be in years 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The reason we requested that is oftentimes when you're comparing proposal A with proposal B, B may say, hey, ours is $150,000. And A may say ours is $225,000. But then when you look in, A includes your license for the first 5 years. B only includes license for the first year. And then if you dig in, you find out later, oh, it's $25,000 a year. And by the way, these numbers that I'm throwing out are all made up numbers. But, you know, $25,000 a year for each additional year. And so we want to try to, as close as we can, compare apples to apples when helping the county select the vendor that they want to use.
Page 13, and the sheriff just replied to this too. It says all camera, page 13, item D, line item D, says all security cameras shall be, which means must be green in color. Why green? I mean, why are we specifying green?
Yeah, so we would be open to any color other than what we're trying to do there is when you're diagnosing a problem and you look in at all of the cables that are up in the ceiling where you're not seeing them, hey, we've got an issue, you quickly recognize, okay, green is going to our camera system. So if we've got an issue and we're trying, you know, we can separate those out. You know, we would say it not be blue, not be white, because those are the two main used colors with other equipment. And again, trying to have that standardization across the board is why we make the recommendation.
So if it says I couldn't get green because of supply, they could go orange or whatever.
Yes.
Okay. Page 16, number N is in Nancy. It says the minimum amount of training time shall be at least 12 hours on site. Could you kind of go into that? Is that enough, or is that, and why, and how did we pick 12 hours on site?
yeah, does that mean include every department? I mean, it seemed like maybe hard to do every department that quick. I don't know.
So first, Judge, getting to your question, we would say train the trainers. So train the folks on the team who are going to then be able to train the individual end users. We came at 12 hours based upon our experience of you want to have more than 8 hours, because if you just say 8 hours, they're going to provide one day. You need trainers over multiple days so that you have an opportunity to think through what did I learn yesterday. But two, out at the law enforcement center, you've got multiple shifts. And so you want to make sure that you cover those shifts and have an opportunity for at least somebody on all of those shifts to be trained on the system. And then again, we specified on site because we have found in our experience, some vendors will say, we have YouTube videos, go watch those YouTube videos and you'll understand how to use the system. Everybody learns different. Some people will be able to watch a video and be able to pick it up. Others need to be able to touch and play with and recognize what does our system look like versus a YouTube video may have all the bells and whistles, and the county may have chosen only to provide certain modules. And so you want to be able to interact with understanding exactly how your system works, which is why we say at least 12 hours so that it spreads more than one day and on site.
I'm gonna get one last question that I have, I mean, that I've written down is, and both of y'all have alluded to this, if you have a cloud-based system, how does a backup work if the internet goes down? If Central Texas Telephone goes down, which has happened over the years, where would the backup for that be in?
I included in my proposal, both a standalone and a cloud. So they can bid either one. Preferably, in the beginning, I said, well, let's do the cloud, but good point that you brought up now. I think that needs to be remained or retained on site. But I did open it up for both options, cover myself and the court for the courthouse.
Well, I didn't see anything in yours about backup, and there's very little in yours, so I didn't know.
Well, it's not really true. You know, we would still have to have a server. There, capture that.
We
If I'm
would-
understanding from the server, it goes to the cloud, is that correct?
So each vendor works differently. We would say that we need to make sure that that's spelled out, that the vendor communicates how that is. Equipment should back up to the cloud, but if there is a connectivity issue, that local equipment ought to be able to, for a period of time, be able to continue to capture information that could be sent across at when connectivity is restored.
So, and on page 10, that goes with that, it says a 60-day reporting and 16-hour motion is, that under B, reporting is down there in the end, and it says shall have a minimum of 60 days of reporting or 16 hours motion reported storage. So you're saying that the backup would cover that, and then is that standard on 60 days and 16 hours? Is that from jail standards, or where are we getting that number?
We're trying to make sure that we meet or exceed any jail standards.
I think the retention period is 90 days for the Texas State Library. I'll have to look at it. Which supersedes guilt.
And of course, in the back, it says, page 17, it says that must meet all Texas jail standards and Texas Historical Commissions, I guess that's the courthouse. And should meet FBI, CGIS security requirements. But that's not correct. We need that.
Yeah, so that would be Texas Jail Commission, Historical Commission for the courthouse, and FBI CGIS standards, which is the standard for dealing with any law enforcement issues.
And I agree with the sheriff on that it's the one that Goldsmith has put out is very direct in its statements and what they needed and what we're looking for. The RFP from the sheriff is a little more concentrated, but it's very broad. I don't know, guys. I mean, if I'm gonna be spending the kind of money we're fixed to be spending, I think I want it because they informed us when they put the jail in, and the sheriff's made this clear that we were at the top of the line, and all of a sudden we're not 6 years later.
Yeah.
So maybe it might need to be written out exactly what we want. I don't know.
Well, that's why we're here
What we all
discussing this.
discussed.
Glenn, any other comments, sir?
Presented you with that, like I said, you can judge your pressure, you can take goals.
Is there something that you definitely wanted in yours that's not in Goldsmiths?
Well, I mean, I wasn't bigger specific in mine, which I knew that was not correct. That's why I changed mine. And they even said this morning that it should have been deleted, but it wasn't. That's why I took it upon myself to delete the bidder.
Could we make a few corrections to the sheriff's RFP, Commissioner Williams, to add or delete?
And if you were involved Goldsmith in that RFP, you redraft it and minimize it. Like I said, I just, it was food for thought, I brought it to the court. You don't have to pass it, you don't have to accept it. I don't care. I was just trying to help you out.
Any other comments, gentlemen? Commissioner Williams, were you wanting to try to propose?
I don't care. I mean, it's well, I'd just like to hear what everybody else thinks about it. I mean, have y'all had a chance to read it? If we haven't had a
Yes.
chance to read it and study it, then let's table it. I mean, we
Yeah.
don't have to make a decision. Again, we just got them both and we can compare them or we can.
I think that's,
Let's get to it and throw something in here. Purpose of any bidding specification is to set some specifications so that any vendor who's wanting to bid on this knows what they're bidding on. And you don't have situations where you have apples and oranges where you've got one set of specs and maybe they don't understand what they are. The law says we have to have public bidding on this or whatever. But you can't make your specification so specific that it eliminates everybody but one vendor. So there's a gray area there. You want your spec specific enough to get what you're getting, what you want. There's certainly nothing wrong with that, but you can't make them so narrow that only one company can bid on it. So, and like the sheriff said, I mean, you're going to get proposals and bids on it. And the court will decide at that point whether to accept the bid or not. Doesn't matter who it is or how much it is, you'll consider those at the time. And if you don't like the bid that you get, you can not accept it or maybe change the specs at that point or whatever. So, but you've got to come up with some specs so that any third party vendor can look at it and know what they're bidding on and know what the sheriff expects in the form of whatever it is that you're getting. So I don't know if that helps you here or not.
Yeah.
But
Mr. Hill, have you read Goldsmith?
no, I have not, and I wouldn't know what I was reading if I was.
That's why I wrote the other one.
We've had changes this morning already, have we not, on suggestions on?
Yes, and Goldsmiths made their changes, as they said, on that specific line item.
But for bid specs, they all need to be similar. They don't have to be exactly the same.
No. I mean, that's why you set it out for bids, it's why the court looks at it and decides whether to accept it or not. But
But
you've got to put up some sort of specs so that the vendors know what they're bidding on, know what to expect from the court.
I would think the companies would know that. I mean, and I would think the biggest deal with this is your running your new lines. I would think your equipment's gonna be comparable in cost. You know, but
You look past it, they could be narrow,
Yeah.
but could be even.
but you're running your new lines over there and there, and I do think that, and I don't know anything about computers. Well, whatever we have here is what we need to have uniformly. It needs to be the same system.
Mhm. Any other discussion, commissioners? Well, what I'm hearing, we can either go with what Sheriff Hammond has proposed, or we can table this for another time. Mr. Williams, thoughts on anything, or we can go with Goldsmith too? 3 options.
Well, I think if we're gonna go with the sheriffs, we need to make a few corrections on that. And I don't know how to do that. Because I'm really worried that on the background, that not all of our department, our equipment over there is DOE.
Okay,
Um,
but there's any
being
question,
that there's analog over there. I'm scared that that's not gonna be there.
Because we're updating it, that's the digital. Getting away from analog.
I know, but it says the background, it's all POE, so it's all, so that's not correct. I don't think,
I have no idea.
yeah, so that's why,
but if there's any question, this is a big deal. I would recommend that we look at this, make the corrections, needed corrections, and come back in 2 weeks on the sheriff's proposal for RFP.
Sheriff Argos,
What's that?
the Sheriff Argos.
Yeah, sheriffs are Goldsmiths, yeah.
I think, yeah.
Again, this is getting technical. I know this is all technical for us old boys here trying to figure all this out. And, we're trying to make the right decision. And I get confused on this too, trying to figure this technical issues out. And we want good cameras for the courthouse and the jail.
Commissioners and Judge, I would, Drew, again with Goldsmith Solutions, we would be happy to continue to work to try to find out what are differences in these two proposals together and work to bring you something back. Our stance is communication is key, and you need to define the standards up front when you are setting this out for such a big project, to make sure that again, you're getting those apples to apples.
Yeah, I think what'd be best if we could have a meeting with Goldsmith, the sheriff, me, and maybe one other commissioner. Would that work good to?
And prior to that, I think like Mr. read both those proposals, see how he feels about that.
Okay,
I'll be glad to look at it.
okay,
Well, what's that for?
okay. Well,
Press 1 for English.
since we've had the discussion, we've asked questions and some confusion on what to do, I would make a motion that we table this for 2 weeks and come back and readdress this. Meanwhile, we will continue to pursue, look at all these differences.
Thank you.
Thank you. The motion's been made. Second's been made by Commissioner Wright. Is that Commissioner Wright? All those in favor of tabling this for 2 weeks, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None opposed. Okay. Thank you, Clint. Now we're going back up to number 10, update on Rolling Oak subdivision. Mike Wright and Doug Moresco is possibly here today. Okay, Doug, you want to come up to the speaker here? So this is the Rolling Oak subdivision between Goldthwaite and Lomita, correct? On 183 South.
What I have here today for the judge and commissioner is just an update on some of the phases of that construction. And we can start with the pump station. It's on County Road 429. It's basically 80% complete. The storage is built. The pressure tank is in place. The building is built with 80% of the controls in place. There's one major pump we're missing. And like y'all probably thought, it's just getting it here. The last time they talked to us, they were saying in March. So with that being said, that takes the whole system and puts it in place with that pressure, that pump. Y'all understand what I'm saying? It's going to be kind of broad.
Is that for your fire suppression or
So that's for
for
the whole system, that pump,
The water system.
the water system, the water lines.
The water lines. And now you're tied on
I
to,
guess, okay? Down the county road throughout the subdivision, every foot of pipe's in place. And from the pump station down 429 into Lampasas County, has passed pressure test, has passed the back T testing, and all tie-ins or services were connected Friday. So down Commissioner Wright's Road, all the way into Lampasas County, it's tied into that pump station. There's 190 that goes into place that hooks it back into that pump station. I can keep y'all on a lot of y'all's time to get down to the logistics, but I'm going to tell you what I'm waiting on to finish it. So from there, all the way back down to Lampasas County, there's a new 6-inch line in place, in service right now, as of Friday. So what it does, it goes to that pump station, and then it loops back east, crosses 183, back to where Corex's water is supplied. So when in essence, if you're standing here at Corex's main headquarters, their plant, it goes up, out, and then ties in a triangle. So we've looped all that together through that subdivision. That pump station is not facilitated to be like a big storage. It works hand in hand with the volume in the pipe, the volume in the storage, and that pressure tank. The pressure tank sits behind the building. I don't know if y'all been out there, but there's a big pressure tank, just like a small well. So when all that comes up online, and say if everybody turned the water on at one time, then you start using the pressure tank and the pressure pump. But if it's normal use, there's enough pressure to facilitate it. It's there for big demand. Main key component is that pump. Mid-March. So all we have to do is bolt it in one day and then it comes up. Any questions?
Yeah, one water question. Now there's no groundwater. You're all on the Corex or what we call the low meter water system,
Yes,
correct?
sir.
Out there?
They can drill wells if they opt.
Sure.
It's their discretion.
And there's plenty of water supply from the low meter water system for all the future subdivisions.
They engineered that, gave it to us
Okay.
to put in, yes, sir.
Okay. And how many, refresh my memory on this, how many lots are there on your
There's 165.
165 lots? Okay.
Yes, sir.
As the original water line that Corex, I guess, has control of now, T. Winters put in himself, right?
I don't know who put it in, sir.
He just ran lines into individual pastures at that time, is my understanding.
Being down the road.
And the
Yeah.
highway.
Yeah. down
Yeah.
County Road.
No, the highway that goes all the way to your entrance. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, supposedly T. Winters paid to put that water line from Lomita out to the when it was put in, so the water line, and I know we all don't have any control, Corex will. The water line from where you're talking about, y'all hooked on all the way to Lomita, has to be pretty old.
We redid all. of
Yeah,
that.
it's,
All
he's
the
got
way
six
to
All
on
in
it.
6 inch, yes, sir.
I think
All
that
the
was
way to
only,
Lomita,
All the way to their 6-inch line, yes, sir, in the Lampasas County.
that's not all the way to Lomita.
We tied into their 6-inch. Yeah, we brought 6-inch all the way to that pump station.
Was there 6-inch, 4.5 was it?
80, 900, 905. Is what we installed. I don't know what. I know Mr. Winters didn't put it in Lampasas County. He might have paid the tie on to bring it up to him. But where we tie in is across the tracks. You're familiar with what I'm talking about, where the pavement starts. Mike, you want to elaborate on where I'm at?
It's about the end where on 424.
The last county road.
Yeah, we went about into Lampasas County, about a mile, roughly 3/4 of a mile. Went to their 6-inch and brought it all the way to the pump station.
Okay.
And then we brought a 6-inch line all the way through Rolling Oaks. Across 183, and there's 6-inch on the east side. So in essence, it's all looped. In a rural water system, that's good because you don't get dead ends.
yeah, we learned about that when we built the jail and it wasn't looped for the
Yeah.
jail and we had to pay the extra money. Remember, Kurt? We had to get it looped in the city limits. Yeah,
Yes, sir. You know, a
So
lot of they fight is non-use.
The,
I'm sure the jail uses a lot of water.
the individual people that buy these has to deal with y'all's water system or Corex.
Well, it will
Who do
never
they
be,
get to?
we're gonna convey it 100% to Corex through legal.
Yeah.
We will never own this Corex, yes, sir. When I get that pump in, and you'll see from the rest of this, and the electricity comes in there, you know, they'll draw it up, through surveys and everything. We proved we paid for everything to Forex, which is already in place. And, it's theirs.
They go through Forex with like, they're gonna deal with Forex on the water and. whatever
Right, if they
electric.
want a meter per se, we can assist them to get the meter. And,
Then
Forex comes
they're
out.
like,
I'm not responsible.
they're in town, they're gonna have a monthly water bill.
And most of these lots are about 10 acres in size.
Yes, 10 to roughly 35.
Okay. Okay.
That was one question I had too, Bill, you were asking about this water, which I've sat down with Doug and asked him about the same situation. Is they don't own the water system, they're for us.
Right, well, technically,
they-
we still
right
own it
now,
now until we bring it up 100%. And then we'll just sit down with Forex, provide, all of our subcontractors and suppliers, the bills that we pay. Basically just legal, you can elaborate on that if you want, and it's simple, we sign it, and then they own it. So, but they have all their SCADA and everything in there to be able to watch it and control it.
Okay.
In that building. I don't know if y'all been, there's a building, they put up a tower there a little bit to be able to communicate with it.
Okay.
So power is actually getting state as we thought. The big thing that we struggled with on power was getting the poles to some, when there's major events that go on, hurricanes, ice storms, they get priority, which they should, but we did get all the equipment was there. Or in Hamilton.
Hamilton County. Okay.
Cy Terrell is doing the engineering and the staking through Hamilton. But
Okay.
Hamilton will install
Okay.
it, so.
Do you have a date on that?
I mean, they'll stake it this week and they told me they're gonna start putting the poles in next week. Now, as I say all this, it rains. It ices, I held my breath on this ice storm. I know some people, because I knew where they were at in the installation, and I knew that they would send crews to help people be, with all the ice damage. So as I say all that, they have they can get pushed or pulled just like all of us in different directions, but that's their goal is to be putting poles in the ground next week.
Okay.
And they'll basically put all the poles up and then come to stretch the wire for safety. Once all the wires in, then they intercut. So, and then I would probably say, as I'm saying this in court, I'm estimating, a 3 to 4 week build out for them. So when they show up, they get stuff done. They've got pretty big crews, but if they have to split crews off, it could slow down.
Okay.
But as I say all that, I need to come back in 4 weeks, give you another update, I can just communicate with Commissioner Wright, and do that,
Okay. All right. Any other questions, folks?
roads.
Well, yeah, roads, that's gonna be on number 11, I think, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to number 11, which is consider an act on status inquiry for Lexon Insurance Company regarding Stemper Holdings LLC. And that's regarding the bond and everything, correct, Commissioner Wright?
That is correct. It's here, instead of one, release it on, it's.
For everybody's information, I was on a conference call with our county attorney and Mr. Maresco last week or week before. And the question was if 80% had been completed on the road, so we could go ahead and release that bond, correct?
We don't want to release the bond as an 80%.
Yeah.
So it's just that they were asking for an update
Okay.
and, you want me to go over like where we're at?
Yeah, sure. You go ahead and explain that.
So phase 1, it's the bond at 6002, the last 4, $502,240. That's East Rolling Oaks Drive and Live Oak Vermont Drive. Those roads are done, except for the signage. You ask why I hadn't put the signs up. Well, when they put in the power and things like that, I realized that they'd gone over them, and so I redo a lot of it. But if y'all recommend to me or tell me I need to put the signs up, I'll put them up. But I'm trying to work how I've experienced that if I wait till the end on these entries and the signage, go in there and blade and touch everything up after they're done with the construction of the electrical, it's just like I can tip to tail it, finish it out, back to the road, and I sign off and I'm done.
Okay.
You know, but the roads are in place, done, drainage, concrete, everything. Bond 63. You have a question?
As an engineer,
Yes, sir.
approve the roads,
I'm sorry?
as an engineer, approve the roads and the drainage.
No, I haven't seen an engineer.
It's supposed to be in the subdivision regulations.
Okay,
Well,
As commissioner or engineer.
so is this one the old one or the new one?
This is the whole.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah, I'm just clarifying that.
Yeah.
So.
We use sound, or on the ones out there, we use sound flying out of ground.
right,
And he's gonna come out and take their dirt samples. They're
right,
actually supposed to do too.
yeah,
You're supposed to do a preliminary when you start and then a finish. But he'll come out and take.
and this
the
was
dirt
from
samples.
1985 regs. Okay.
County Attorney Hale, you got any comments on all that? Could you hear all that? What about the engineering, roads, check on the roads, engineering study?
It's in, yeah. I didn't bring the previous one. too.
It's in the 1985, but the reason I'm, because it says commissioner or, professional engineer firm. And the whole deal on that is because we all know these dirt roads are not gonna hold up forever.
Yes, sir.
They're just gonna have issues. Our county roads do everything else, and I don't want one of these subdivisions coming back on the county and saying, well, yeah, all the private. That's easy to say.
Right. Well,
Really easy to say.
there's an HOA fee in place to replace. the
There
road.
it is out there, there it is out there too. You will have,
Can't keep the president of it on that one, can they? That one out there, they keep switching presidents out, don't they?
yeah, different president of the HOA and then turn around, so. But anyway, that is an 85, and I guess that's up to Mike. He can approve those roads or he can get an engineer. to approve them.
Like what at the present time, what I've driven on and looked at them, I'm not completely happy yet with all of it. And I will be coming back with the court, with upgrades and updates with Doug. I've been meeting with him, so, there needs to be some improvements to it.
Okay,
So the bond on 63-01, which is 80%. The drainage and culverts in place with concrete, low water crossings are poured, riprap is being installed with grout. And that's the 80% part of the bond. That bond is $1,246,800. Gated entries are being built as we speak. Off of 183, there will be 3. They get poured next Tuesday and masonry will follow. And the 2 entries and exits from Rolling Oaks to County Road 429, the permits have been paid for, discussing with Commissioner Wright what is the best way to alleviate his work to the minimum. And we're going to pour concrete from his road into the subdivision to the gated. So all that into there, roughly 80 to 90 feet off the road will be concrete.
okay,
That's the question I had with sport. I know that didn't meet our specs and stuff. And I was concerned about water runoff, and I'm still concerned about it. Doug,
Yeah.
he's been made aware of it coming from that subdivision onto the county road and across the county road. And I don't know if our county roads are built up enough, and I've discussed that with him, and we're in an ongoing discussion on that right now. And I don't know if y'all have been out that way and looked at some of the traffic that was been catching 429, and it's lots of traffic. And I know that Doug's worked with me on that road, trying to keep it up, and I want, the whole subdivision will be parallel. I want to correct it at the county road, and he's agreed that they'll work with me in any way.
100%.
okay.
And that is, but I'm not completely satisfied with everything right now, and I don't wanna.
Where is y'all's material coming from?
Waterhead.
So Commissioner Wright, you're saying you're not completely satisfied yet. Go ahead.
So I don't, right now, I wanna make sure that we get our roads done before we sign off on this. And
Okay.
that's one
You're
thing.
referencing County Road 429.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Well, I'll stand in front of the court and in front of the judge, people here, that I'm gonna make a commitment about County Road 429 correct.
okay,
So it's just gonna be a matter of time and, you know,
okay.
not doing it the way he requests it.
The interlocal agreement, I don't know how that works on that road, Gerald.
Well, there won't be an interlocal agreement, but it's a private company. So,
Is it not, I can't do an inch.
I mean, for the traffic, these are not county roads that we're talking about, I think.
No, the one that we're talking
One
about
of the
is
subdivisions are not county.
No, sir.
the subdivision.
Mike is worried about when it comes out of the subdivision on
There's
the county road.
nothing you can do about it.
That's what I'm saying.
But there is a thing,
But he can,
I mean, I'm saying it in front of the judge and the court that I'm gonna make it right between he and I, Jason, if you wanna help him, whoever. For when we come out there and get on his road, it's gonna be correct.
The whole purpose of a bond is so the developer puts up a surety that stands behind it and says, if the county ever has to complete these roads because the subdivider didn't do it, then the bond is good for payment. And in my opinion, the county is not ever going to complete these roads. So, I mean, I know the subdivision has an effect on connecting county roads, but I don't think there's anything you can do about the additional traffic on the county road. I mean, it's just inevitable.
I would be in y'all's case, I'd be way concerned about the concrete entrances. They're not gonna erode, but the concrete entrances could erode the county road.
Right, that's why I'm gonna be in,
that's why I'd be more scared of that. It's gonna come around the ends and at the beginning.
In the future.
That's one of the reasons that I brought this up, wanted we to discuss it, because that's one reason on one of the entrance. Dale, it's on the
Might
map.
get a float.
Yeah.
if you lower the pipe, and I know the county has specs in the pipe, but if you're coming from the subdivision to your county road, you lower the pipe where in the big rain, it fails, the pipe fails, but you capture it in the concrete and keep it in your ditch line. So in essence, here's the county road, you pour your concrete to where the pipe handles 80% of the water through here. When it rains and it fails, I don't kick it to Commissioner Wright's road.
You're gonna dip. the
I'm gonna
concrete.
try to dip the concrete, but as I do that, I'm gonna manipulate his ditch. And I need permission, I need his guidance to do it to where it causes him the least amount of work to the end of this forever. So if I lower that pipe, put a smaller pipe in, or put two small pipes in, lower it as much as I can, keep the water in his ditch, it keeps him from having to go out there and fix it when it kicks out. We've all seen it. I mean, I can drive down numerous roads where they put a pipe in, turn the water back to the road, and it washes it out. That's what I'm trying to alleviate. And the one that he's very concerned with, do we put a pipe in it at all? Do we just go in there and pour concrete, let the water rush across it? You know, and be done with it. When they blade the road, they kick their blade up, come out of it and keep going. But we just need to get together and get a game plan.
And that's the discussion I've been having, Dale.
Yeah.
I would kind
And
of.
I don't know the solution of it either. I made a comment at one time. I'd like to visit with Jason about it, which I did.
Yeah, I'm kind of like Dale. I think if you don't know or whatever, when we have our engineer, Sam Swan, on the payroll, we can get him to go out there and look at it.
Well,
I mean,
the engineers approved way back. But the problem of it is it's gonna build the road up too high to the county road. That's why we're here.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to alleviate any problems perceived to make it harder on Commissioner Wright.
Not knowing what it looks like, I'm you know, it's kind of hard.
I'm really glad to be out there with Lady, we shoot some grades and come together on this. If it doesn't work, we make it right.
But
That's what I'm trying to do.
ultimately, it's your decision. It's how, I mean, how you want to do it.
That's what I
So,
wanted to do. And I informed Doug that's kind of what I wanted to do before we went any further than this, and that I wanted just to do an update and discuss it. That's, I want to hear y'all's input. You know, it's tough just with one individual trying to correct it. Yeah, well, that's sad, the way the 85 was written. It's either a licensed engineer or it's you.
I know that.
So if it's gonna be me or a licensed engineer, it's gonna be a licensed engineer.
I agree. And they've engineered it. That's.
No, not their engineer, no.
On our subdivision, but not on our county right of way. That is correct.
Well, a licensed engineer has to approve
Approve their roads.
their road and their subdivision. And you
Or
go
the
back and
commission.
read that.
or the commission, yeah.
And that's at a cost to the subdivision, not the
Sure,
county.
that's no problem.
Yeah.
So the entries into the county road 429, I'm fully unassured, Commissioner Parkman, where we're at with the interior. I'm here to get Commissioner Wright's roads, the entry and exit with the least amount of work that it costs him in the future. That's why I'm saying.
And Doug, when I talked to you 2 weeks ago, you brought up the bond deal too about
Yes.
they sign and release off on
Yes.
that.
Yes, sir. So I'll hire an engineer to look at the roads.
Okay,
I can get back to you on that $500,000 bond.
okay,
And if you are not comfortable in the other road being 80%, I can take the engineer through there, Commissioner Wright can run through them. I just
okay,
want to update where that road is at.
okay,
So
all right.
Yeah, I just think that Commissioner Wright needs to either get the engineer or approve these, and bring it to the court. Is that right, Dale? I mean, that's what I get.
Y'all more happy with that.
That's what it said.
It said it, so, but if y'all want to do that, I can get a hold of him and.
Yeah.
And out there and look at it and.
I think that'd be good. His name's Sam Swan, right?
I've got his number.
Yeah.
Jackie
I think that'd be the way to go, get the engineer out there.
Y'all, you have his number and.
Jackie probably does.
Now give me time, I'll go out there and look, see, because I'm not following 100% what y'all's got going on, but.
yeah, I mean, if we have to pay an engineer to design the water bill, it's already been done
Okay,
on the entry and exit to 429.
Do you have those specs?
Yes, sir.
You think you could send them to the court?
Yes, sir.
All right, that'll work.
okay.
The court approved them back when they approved the
Yeah.
subdivision.
Are they in that? Are those specs in that subdivision?
The pot size and diameter is in what y'all.
Yeah, but I meant how he's doing, how he wants to do that. How the engineer is saying y'all are to do that actually laid out or just as pipe size, 'Cause usually it just. It's not,
Yes, Commissioner Williams, I'm not following up what you're asking.
well, I
wouldn't
mean,
say you
I
install
wanna
the
know
pipe.
what is the engineer saying that we have to do to that intersection, besides just putting a pipe in it.
Basically, you put the pipe in and do it correctly, it controls the flow of the water, but I can tell the standing here, it's gonna turn into the road. And that's why I'm in front of the court.
So that's what I would, yeah.
Okay, to Mr. Wright.
Okay,
So I think we should table this till we get
Yeah.
more information.
yeah. You want to make a motion there, Commissioner Williams?
Yeah, I'll make that a motion. On,
Commissioner,
agenda item number 11, to consider an act on the status and the query of Lexon Energy Company.
insurance company.
Insurance company, I can't read.
Yeah.
Regarding Step Holdings LLC.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Williams to table number 11. I'll second that motion. Motion's been made and a second. All those in favor of tabling this till the next Commissioners Court meeting, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, ayes have it. Doug, thanks for coming, bud. We'll be in touch with you. Okay, number 12, discuss request for variance on subdivision regulations. Mr. County Commissioner Dale Parton.
You want to come up?
Mr. Williams, good morning.
First, I will start this by saying we went ahead and reworded to discuss, because if we do actually have a variance, there's a $200 fee that goes along with the variance in the subdivision, the new subdivision regulations. I told Buddy, I don't really think It's a discussion because he's wanting to sell a piece of property that is gonna feed on the Highway 84. It's not gonna feed on to a county road. So I thought we'll just put it on for discussion. If we have to approve a variance, that'll be a different deal, but I guess discussion on maybe Daryl's take. I think you told him he needed variance and it comes on.
Technically, this is a subdivision or our subdivision regulation definition, and it doesn't fit any of the exemption. So, I mean, that's what you get into. I know, but he doesn't feel like he's doing a subdivision, he just wants to sell one, he can tell you what he wants to do.
Buddy, go ahead.
What I'm doing is, I had a guy approach me, wanted to buy a lot there. And, it's already fenced off, it's just 1.3 acres. And, he wanted a place to put some equipment on and another. And so he approached me about that. And, I agreed to sell him that fenced off area. And, like I say, it opens on the highway. It's just, I don't know, one of the corners. Well, I've got a picture of it here. It just, that it's just a little spot there on the corner of my place that right next to, just north of Ray Hall. And right across from Billy Miller up there. And like I say, I just want.
Can you see a copy of this?
Yeah, I've seen it. I mean, what, I mean, the court has the authority under the regulation to grant variance regulation. If for some reason or another, the court determines that somebody doesn't need to comply with the full subdivision requirements, you can grant a variance in some specific requirements, or you can grant a variance on the subdivision requirements altogether. The court has the authority to do that, but technically this is the definition of a subdivision is when you divide one tract into 2 or more tracts, and that's what I'm doing. It's not the first time this is going to come up. So, and it doesn't fit any of the exemptions, statutory exemptions, or our county regulation exemptions. And so, technically, if somebody does this, he's violating the law.
Sure.
And so, he asked me what to do. I said, well, bring it to the court. If the court wants to grant a variance.
And again, you said we can legally apply a variance to anybody we see fit, and we. Yeah.
Say, well, this particular subdivision or whatever this particular person is doing can be accomplished by doing something else. Maybe this has to comply with the regulations. But just be careful because when you grant a variance to somebody on this situation, you may have somebody next week coming back and hold to another one. So, you know, or maybe you can need to look at revising the regulations some way or another. So you can do this without variance. That's all up to the court.
Thank you. I'm sure I got this right. You're taking 1 acre out, 1.2,
1.32 acres.
okay, one acre
Whatever was done.
out of your 60 acres
Right,
that you own.
right. But to me, the big deal on this is, I mean, we've got one out at Mullen that to me is way more serious than this, that to take on it, they don't have to do anything. Well, what would I have to do?
The court needs to grant a variance, and it's not over here to consider an action. You can't do that, does it? But there has to be action for the court to grant a variance.
I mean, what would I have to do to comply with the subdivision rules?
Well, you have to-
Or I mean, it's got the,
Page 30.
it's got the width.
Well, subdivision regulations are already pages long. You gotta get these TCEQs that says that the comments on the water availability. You've got, I think you've got to have a water storage tank in the event of fire on the property. You gotta have an engineer to give an engineering report on the status of the subdivision.
So does he have to do a plat and all this?
Oh,
And you're either required to comply with it or
No
not.
plat?
no. Not if we got one out at Mullen, it's splitting into 5 places and they don't have to do anything and they're coming out onto a county road. This is coming out on the Highway 84. We have no control over
Who's
it.
next
It's
up?
not been any exemption. Tell me what exemption. you think this is.
What does the one at Mullen fit?
Huh?
What's the one at Mullen fit, he said?
The what?
The deal that the people have been told, I told them they had to plat it, and it came up, they don't have to do anything. There's 5 parcels of land out there coming off one place.
Only over 10 acres each.
Yeah,
This is not 10 acres.
that's the.
And plus it's not gonna be acre.
Okay. Well, buddy, we thank you. We're discussing this today. We don't have to do any action, of course. It's not considered act discussion.
I think if we just did the variance, all it is fill out the paperwork and the $200.
Okay.
It's so,
Yeah, all the people part of the grant variance.
yeah, that's awesome.
Authorized Blake to survey off this 1.3 acres, and sell it without complying with the county subdivision regulation. But that's something that the court would have to have on the agenda and vote and approve it. It has to be in the minute.
All right. Man, I did you any favors by putting it on discussion, but.
So what happens, let me ask this question. What happens if he decides to take the rest of the 60 acres down the county road but if he puts them all in 1 acre tracts? Because he's got a bunch of land
There
there.
has to be a variance on every one of them.
Every one of them.
Right.
Hear that?
Yeah, I understand that, but I don't have a problem getting variance.
Okay.
I just want I don't want
Gotcha.
to go to jail and I don't want to.
No, yeah, we're gonna do it right. Okay.
Court has to deal with it.
But he's just trying to do what it's for.
Yeah.
They'll thank you. You bet.
Well, buddy, thank you. We'll be in touch with you, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
That'll work. Be on the agenda for
Yeah.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if y'all have any more questions, commissioners, I guess that's Commissioner Parton's precinct. He'll be in touch with you and call me if you got any questions. Thank you, buddy. Okay, moving on, number 13, consider an act on adding a washer and dryer to community center. What's been going on lately, to refresh the court's memory, a donation's been made to the community center, also known as the Senior Citizen Center. We've been working with them, getting quotes, bids from numerous individuals. We're still waiting to hear from some others. And it's been proposed, I've been told that what we can do is turn this over to them because they're not using any of the county's money. And we'll continue to work with them on bids and whatnot, but they eventually can choose which bid they want for the washer and dryer hookups, meaning electrical, plumbing, and also venting for the dryer. Ms. Pesh, did I explain that well? And again, I want to stress, we want to keep working with these folks over there, doing what we can. But again, we're going to just turn this over. If it's approved by the court and let y'all decide on whoever you want to bid on everything. Guy, did I leave anything out on that? Miss Etheridge, yeah. Yeah. And
Where would this go? I mean, is it only one place that you asked me about and was in the closet?
yeah, come on up here, Guy, and talk.
Because some of these people don't know, they don't know what's going on the wash and dryer. There's no place to put it in the back in the kitchen and all that.
Yeah. Went over with contractors, multiple contractors, and we only found one place we could actually go. Most of the time you put a washer and dryer on the outside wall so you can vent it
Mhm.
and the plumbing and all of that. Well, there's no space over there to put it on the outside wall. So only one place it can go, there's a mop sink closet. And then there's a big closet right beside it. So if you go inside that closet, there's a niche right beside the mop sink closet. So you can run your drain right there, run your plumbing, exit right up the wall. It's the only place to go.
So if you vent
If you vent it, then you're gonna have to vent up and out. You're gonna have to put a booster fan on there. To draw it out.
it, if
They
you,
do make go ahead. They do make a ventless combination washer dryer. I've done some research on it, and I've passed the information on to Billy on that, so it can. You can put a ventless in there, which would eliminate quite a bit of cost for running that vent, but,
so my question on a ventless though, where's the humidity go?
that's one of the things that I researched. They do, there's some pros and cons. One of the cons is it does produce mold over time. They have a catch. They have just a catch for the moisture. It's kind of like a drain tank. And if that's not properly emptied and taken care of, it can cause mold and it causes it to come up in the air. It uses ionization and it just recirculates the air in the dryer.
So is that part of the dryer itself, or is that a different
It's the,
part, I guess?
well, it's gonna come with the dryer.
Okay, so it's in the dryer itself.
Yes, yes.
And there's enough room, because it's inside the dryer, is what you go.
Actually, from what I understand, it's gonna be outside of the dryer. But there should be, it
Should be enough room.
yeah, there'll be enough. My only concern with going with the ventless is if at some point, I look toward the future, if at some point the senior center moves and they decide they get a new building or whatever, and the county no longer leases it, well, then they're gonna take their ventless washer and dryer with them, of course. And then we'll have a place for a washer and dryer, but only a ventless can go in there. You can't put a vent in
Yeah.
it. So I would suggest go ahead and
Okay,
have them put it down. If they're gonna do it. And I've spoken to Lori about this too. She's kind of on
Yes.
with,
Ms. Pesh, is there anything else we need to add on this or any comments you have? Okay,
It's going to be used in 1, 3, or 4 months a day. Also, but we'll be using it once a day. Just keep it in.
okay,
yeah, I'm just bringing information. That's really all call on that.
We're gonna save some money. Then, if we buy a bid, that we have to bid, but it's gonna cost what? Over $1,000 to bid it out. That first bid was like 2,500, and now it's mostly the plumbing. So.
okay. Any other questions, folks?
Well, so what have y'all been doing in the previous 3 or 4 years for water closed? Yes, I was trying to figure out who was doing it now, because it didn't just come up overnight. No, unless y'all been stacking it up in the morning. No, this is something that has been needed, been done in a long time. I would love to see the blueprints for that building, because this is an empty space. I wonder if it was set aside for that start. I don't think so. I think originally it was just the mop sink that took away from it. Right, but it was a closet, and that's where the mop sink went in from the outside, so, yeah. I mean, because I think if you go back and you were gonna add it, you would have put it in with the mop sink itself in that same closet.
Okay, so again, if we passes, what we're proposing is transfer everything to their group to make the decisions to go with whoever XYZ company on the bid and all that. It's
So
what we're,
all we're doing is making a motion whether to allow them to put a washer and dryer in the facility.
yes,
If you're gonna do it,
Fund
you
it.
do it right.
yes.
It's owned by the county.
And fund it.
Well, they're saying they're gonna fund it.
How do you propose we make a motion with this county attorney?
And
have?
so,
This is business about the bin.
I mean, I'd be worried that if you're gonna wash every day, you're gonna be putting moisture and heat in that room, in that closet,
Put a dryer in there, it sounds to me like it is.
Yes,
or put it on an outside wall. That would say, but I don't, but you're saying there's no other place.
How about that storage where they stores the tables and chairs?
That's where
That's
they're
where
wanting
this
to
is.
put it, in there, but over in,
Vented outside?
but they're wanting to put it on that other wall in that closet. So when you walk in the closet, Mike, there's, if you turn to the right and go to the wall over there by the bathroom,
It's got
that's where.
space.
Yes,
I understand.
and there's a, as he would use, a niche in there.
Yeah.
But if you did it like what you're saying, right there on that outside wall, just a washer and dryer hooked up.
You could put it on that outside wall, but you would have to run and drain water lines all the way across that wall and surface. to Get to that mop, you're gonna have to drain to that mop. That's what's gonna have to drain.
I think everybody's agreed for a guy that that nook in there on the right-hand side is the best place to do this, correct? Yeah. Okay. A discussion? Well, I'll make a motion that we can, on the, regarding the community center, that we turn everything, what's the proper way to make this motion? That we allow them, what?
I said, you're making. the
Well, I'm
motion.
trying to figure out the proper way to make this motion, that we allow the community center to handle all the bids for this future washer dryer with a consultation from Mr. Guy Burns too. And they do this, again, not county money. This is all their own private donation money that's gonna go to this project. So Julie, sorry for that long motion, but that is my motion. Yes. Okay, we always refer to as,
But it's the community.
yeah,
center.
we always refer to it as community center, and I agree. I got corrected calling it the senior citizen center before, so yes. Yes. Hill Country owns the building, the furnishings, yes, yes.
Not all the furnishings,
They furnish the tables and some of the.
yeah, but not all the furnishings.
Okay, so I've made a motion to pretty well let the Billy, Miss Etheridge to be in charge of all the future quotes and bids. Our county will still continue to support them.
So how are we gonna approve these bids then?
Well, that's gonna be up to them, my understanding. There's gonna be numerous bids coming in,
So
but they
it
got,
doesn't say whether we're gonna vent or do vent. In your motion. Robert, you're a construction man.
I'd been it, but
okay.
that's just my deal.
I mean,
Vent hoods,
Yeah.
vent hoods, dryers.
I think that's gonna be the best way to go, like County Attorney Hill said, let's do it the right way, so there won't ever be future problem. So I'm on this motion. Now, let me back up again. I'll make a motion that we let the Mills County Community Center / Senior Citizen Center to approve all bids, reject where they won't. They got the money donated, and that the new dryer be vented. Yes, ma'am, to be vented. I think that's what I'm hearing from all the consultants, Ms. Nan. Okay, there's my motion.
I'll second.
I got a motion by me, a second by Commissioner Williams. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, number 14, consider an act on interlocal agreement with Mullins City Council. Mr. Dale Parton and County Attorney Hale have been working on this with Dexter Morris. Our city manager he broke his foot last week, so I don't think he's gonna be able to attend today.
I have read their local agreement. It looks fine to me.
As County Attorney Hale said, we can still make any changes or corrections to that if we so decide. I went through it and I think everything looks good for what I've read.
I had some discussions with, I think her name was Laura Garcia, who packed, basically on what basic structure other than the big one to do in there. I looked at it, map, come up with these three county roads, that look like they're connected. Ran through Mullen, and my and local even have the authority to maintain those streets as part of the county road system.
Really?
But each swap of that in there too. Basically, it's got this $15,000 annual credit. And, everything needs to be submitted from the city and I put Dale in the hot seat here. To be the one to approve whatever it is that they ask to be done. Subject to this $15,000 limit. And then invoice monthly to show how much of the 15,000 you use and how much you got left. Basically, it's supposed to provide that that's only, the county is not under any obligation or duty to do this. It's on a piece by piece basis. As your equipment and your road hands are available. And it'd be billed at $150 an hour flat rate.
I think it's important for the record. I'll just read a couple of the sections. County Attorney Hale, the section 1, these streets in the city, which are an extension of county roads and form an integral part of the county road system. This is Mullen, Texas, we're talking about, namely 6th Street, which connects County Road 508, 509, and Sherman Street, and which connects County Road 544 and County Road 509, will continue to be maintained by the county as a normal part of the county road system. Section 2 states the county will provide, as County Attorney Hale said, up to $15,000 in credit per year for road equipment work on certain streets in the city that are not an integral part of the county road system. And one other thing I'll read, all equipment work, which includes related county employee time, will be billed by the county to the city at the rate of $150 per hour of equipment use and invoice to the city monthly, with accounts starting with the $15,000 annual credit at the first year. So that's just a few of the highlights of what we're talking about.
And when it says first of the year, does it mean calendar year or our physical?
Well, it terminates December, I made.
31st fiscal year, yeah.
Okay.
Our county, yeah. Yearly.
Yeah, I see that.
Extended for another.
Yeah. Okay.
Clear. Not ordinance. Oh,
Yeah.
this is the regular deal. 15,000 is on others. Is that?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the way I read it.
And,
Yeah.
and we should readdress this again every year, correct?
Yeah, it would need to be renewed every year.
Yeah.
Or modified.
Okay.
And they pretty well know it's not in there, but they pretty well know that we cannot furnish anything other than labor.
Right, it provides the county's not providing any culverts.
No plumbing, no this and that.
Yeah, it's just man hours and fuel and machinery. is what the county-
And basically, this has been a long drawn out deal. When I heard about this at a commissioners meeting and then we got to discussing it, I'm not sure TAC was much more up on it than we were.
Yeah. Okay.
And so anyway, I mean, I think it's, let's see. Consider an act on interlocal agreement. I will make a motion that we enter into the interlocal agreement with the city of Mullen for this calendar year.
Okay, Commissioner Partners made a motion to do the interlocal agreement with the city of Mullen. Commissioner Head has seconded. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Moving on, number 15. Yes,
They got a-
yes.
They are.
Dexter Morris will have to come by and sign it. There's on that form, I think there's a spot for he and I to sign.
Has the city of Mullen approved it?
Yes, he is.
He is,
They probably haven't approved this. But it's good for Friday.
yeah. They'll still have to, I think they'll still have to approve it. Yeah.
I
Okay,
can get him a copy of this document.
all right. Okay. That's at number 14. Okay, number 15, consider an act on court coordinator's computer system. Jackie's system, this is Jackie Brooks' system. Her computer's 4 years old. Apparently didn't have enough RAM memory when it was bought and purchased. It's very slow, a lot of problems. And what we got to do is pull this out of non-departmental funds. And the court needs to know where this is coming from.
Asked Summer about this morning. I don't know if she's still online, but it comes out, of the technology fund that we set up.
Okay. And I can attest that she's had a lot of issues the last month or so on this computer system, and she's on it all day long. So, any other questions, discussion?
What kind of money?
Commissioner or Judge, would I be able to speak to that?
Yes,
real
yes,
quick? Yeah, again, this is Drew with Goldsmith Solutions. When the budget process was gone through last year with Judge Ed Smith, we did recommend that there be a number of computers replaced, scheduled to be replaced every year. So I believe in the courthouse, there were 12 that we said budget to replace in this current fiscal year.
Okay,
We believe that there are funds budgeted for this replacement.
okay. All right. Any other questions? Okay, I'll make a motion. Well, go ahead.
But what kind of computer?
It's right here on your insert.
I didn't
Dell
hear about that.
Technology.
No.
Yeah,
Um,
Dell computer, or whatever Goldsmith recommends on the specs and the RAM memory and everything.
1,900. You can change, so.
Yeah, yeah,
$1,942.69.
Yes, I missed that one.
Okay. Any other questions?
I make a motion that we approve the court coordinator's computer system to be bought out of the general fund technology money.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Williams, and I'll second that. Any other questions, discussion? All those in favor of acting on the court coordinator's new computer system, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None opposed. Passes. Okay, 16. Consider an act on Microsoft email licensing. We've been talking about this, Drew, quite a bit. I personally tabled it 2 weeks ago because I still wait to hear from certain departments and other folks. I've got all my questions answered. Drew is available for anything. And I will say this, Drew, again, as you stated, and I just want to verify, I do have one department who definitely wants to always keep their email domain name. And of course, I know there may be some changes later, and that was one you've already assured us that he can still keep that, correct?
Yes.
Yes. And one other question I did have, assuming a year or so or 2 years, if we didn't like what was going on, we could still always come back out of this agreement with you with no exit fees, correct? Or any things like that?
There would be no exit fees. There would be some fees to do the work of getting it transitioned. And these are a yearly agreement that
Sure.
county is entering into with Microsoft that we're managing.
Okay.
And so it is yearly and not monthly?
It is a yearly agreement paid monthly.
Okay. Okay.
I make a motion to accept the bid for Goldsmith Solutions to be our email provider, archiving and security agents and domain hosting with a .gov ending for $930 a month with $1,150 one-time conversion fee.
And again, that .gov, there's still going to be one department able to keep their old email. I won't stress that, correct?
Yes, but that's.
Yeah, but for the new ones we're talking about, whatnot, or whoever wants to change, okay?
That's my motion.
I will second.
Okay. We got a motion by Commissioner Williams, a second by Commissioner Parton. Any other discussion? All those in favor for the Microsoft email licensing, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, we've already done 17, the bid specs for the camera system, which we're going to table. Now, number 18, discussion on 2006 Kenworth truck. Mr. Parton, Commissioner Parton, I think this is yours.
Yeah, we were, started out, we were looking for a haul trailer to replace some equipment in Mills County that's probably outdated. Well, we found this truck in the haul trailer between Dublin and Stephenville. I looked at it, talked to the guy. I guess later Robert went over and they looked at it and talked to the guy. Last week during the icy spell, Jason couldn't go. Me and my guys went back over there. We got over there.
But my two hands did.
Jason's two hands did. He had sold the haul trailer, which was a pretty nice unit. Still has the truck. Yeah, I think it's a very well kept truck. I just wanted it on the agenda for discussion, whether Cause these things are not that easy to find. They're sure not very easy to find when they're in, appears to be in good shape with a motor rebuild, and everything. So I just want to put it on discussion whether people wanted to pursue the truck or not.
And then again, the pictures are down there.
I mean, basically, we were needing the trailer, but then if you find the trailer and that guy said, I think I can find another trailer. Well, the reason this took so long was we had to get the confirmation. It was over $50,000 because they were calling the truck and the trailer a unit, which I said they weren't. It was two separate pieces of equipment. But, I guess
That's not how,
they won out, so.
that's not how purchase.
Anyway, it was gonna end up being over 50 grand, so you either had to go through the bid specs and advertise it.
But how do you bid for you?
But anyway, I just put it on there for the discussion to see whether people wanted to go on board. The truck will not be over 50,000.
Okay,
The truck will be 47,000.
okay.
I mean, it says it's got 600,000 miles, but I mean, the engine's only like 15,000, I think. it was.
Yeah, new engine, new rebuild, and I was talking to, Joy's husband. He's fixing to rebuild or put a new motor in a similar type truck. Gonna be over $50,000.
Hmm,
So,
it's not a good deal.
And the truck is look very, very clean.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
go down on price on the.
he did.
What?
$2,000. He went down 2,000.
Yeah, because originally it was,
49.
yeah, 49.5. And it's on that front page, I think, it's like bottom left.
49.5, and he came down $2,000. So,
And it's not gonna be sold out from under you if we wait, or I mean,
not if I contact him. I started contacting, cause I started putting discussion in act, but I didn't want to do that, but if we're interested, as long as, I mean, I looked at it a month or better ago. And that's the reason he said, if I'd known y'all were interested in the trailer, I wouldn't have sold it.
Yeah.
I said, well, you're in the buying and selling game. If you get a seller, you buy.
Yeah.
So anyway, just see whether y'all want to continue forward, or I'm gonna call the guy and say, no, we're not interested.
I'd leave it up to you, Dale, on that.
No.
No, it's,
So
the money's coming out of.
Money, if we do
Road
do
and
this.
Bridge, so we'd have to take all of us to vote on it.
Yeah.
So it's not just his, unless you're buying it out of your increasing.
I'm a little short on funds.
Yeah.
Well, to me, it's, do we want a truck or do we want a trailer? If we want a truck, this is a pretty good deal to go get. It's whatever you guys.
And that's, y'all know more about that than I do.
That's why it's discussion.
I mean, we can't even act on it today because I didn't put it on there, but I want everybody's feedback. And I think if we want this truck, I really think in fairness, we need to call a special meeting and act on it. I
Okay,
don't think we need to wait 2 more.
Do we want a truck or do we want a trailer?
Well, for some of us,
It'll be a road and bridge equipment,
right,
so.
still, I mean, we still gotta find a trailer though, because I mean, with Marlin down, both them trailers are unusable.
I guess my biggest fear on turning this down, you may find the trailer and then you may be hunting the truck again.
Well, one thing about the trailer with the pony motors, I mean, they're not necessarily stuck to one trailer. Truck, I mean, the two trailers we got are pretty much stuck to
One truck.
one truck. And I mean, it's a nice truck, I mean, don't get me wrong, but
I've never had a Kenworth. I don't know anything about Kenworth, but if the motor's been a new motor
It's got a Caterpillar.
and it's got a Caterpillar engine in it, that's a plus.
where'd you say this truck was located?
It's at a truck shop.
Right outside of
right,
Steve.
so Steve, right, where
For the John
Okay.
House.
No, the discussion ended, I get, I get a little off base. Girl can tell me if I am. I did ask the guy if we had some equipment, if we wanted to sell, and we gotta find out whether you even can do that or not. He's got a good location there to sell equipment. I don't even know that we can.
Well, our equipment has to go out through bid or through auction.
That's set in stone.
Well, that's by statute. You can't just give your equipment away,
So
so.
we're not talking about giving it away.
Well, I mean, even if you set it up there, you can't, I mean, you can set it and advertise it, but it's still gotta go through a auction type or a bidders type thing.
Can you trade it?
You can trade it. You can do a trading in. Would he take a trading in? I doubt
I'm
it.
not even going that far.
Talk about that, but you can trade it.
I'm not going that far. Either y'all want to buy, either y'all discuss buy the tractor or not.
Okay, any more discussion?
I'm good. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
good either way, so. We've got
I'm
about,
good either way
I think,
too.
is Summer still on there? I think that line item is about 60,000, is that correct? On road and bridge.
Summer, can't hear us?
Yeah, I had to come back. I'm trying to process payroll. I think there's about 66,000 in that line item.
So there's plenty of money.
Talking about Road and Bridge.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So, yeah, I mean,
But
I'm
then
up
if you
for it.
find, then if he finds or somebody finds a haul trailer, we're still gonna need it, but we might split what's left there in commissioner money
Okay,
to get a trailer.
and you propose we do a special meeting to do this, correct?
If,
I would,
Yeah.
because.
Yeah. We can do that.
We lost the trailer.
Yeah. Okay. All right, any other discussion? That it? Did that answer your questions, Commissioner Parton?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Number 19, moving on. Consider an act on the sale of the old EMS building on 4th Street. This is, I know, is a broken record. We've been working on this for a long time. We're having some interest in it, and I feel like we got two choices. We can either do the public auction on the north side of the courthouse square, or we can do the sealed bids. County Attorney Hale will comment later on this. The problem, again, refresh the commissioner's recollections. If we do a sealed bid, we're gonna get a certified appraiser to come in, and that's gonna be a cost of around $3,000. Which I really hate spending that much money on this building, which may or may not bring 25 or 30,000. I don't know. We had a broker's opinion done by one of our brokers here in town about 2 months ago. And I think it was around, our low bid on the public auction was 45,000. Wasn't that right, Commissioner Parton? I think that was figured. So anyway, we have a for sale sign on the building, and we've had some interest in there coming to us, inquiring about it. Now, whether these people are just going to make an offer of $5,000 or what, I don't know. I don't want to sell it that low. There's some value to that lot. County Attorney Hale, anything else you need to add or I missed?
No, I think you got it pegged. That one, broken record. You got 3 ways to sell it. You can hire a broker, you can sell it by sales bid, you can sell it by public auction. And the sales bid is one that requires an appraisal. The other two don't require that. If you decided that you wanted to do the auction again, I would suggest we make a proposal a little more buyer friendly. The current proposal requires a $10,000 deposit. Of course, that's something we thought was going to fill $125,000. I would probably suggest we lower that to like $1,000. To not make it a little easier for somebody to buy. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been hit up by at least 2 of the people that have looked at it that are interested. And they didn't quote out any figures or anything, but they're talking considerably lower than
Oh, yeah.
$45,000. And when I say considerably, they're thinking like what you're thinking, Chet. They're gonna come in and lowball.
Yeah. And the brokers, getting a broker to sell it, we got numerous qualified brokers in Mills County. Everybody's very good. The question was, I had a difficulty on who do you choose, and other people get upset about that. Because again, everybody, there's 7 or 8 or 9 very good brokers in the county, and that's why I wasn't pursuing that route.
One of the problems that I have is question is whether or not fuel tank area up there. Another option might be the county to go ahead and buy it. If the TCEQ up there, to look at it, and if there is a tank there, take it out. You wouldn't have that. But, yeah. If you recall.
But
I
if
think
you're,
that's what everybody's scared over. It's like
Personally,
tanks there.
that's huge, because it could cost as much pulling tanks out of the ground.
Yeah.
As what you give them for the building.
yeah,
Well, that's what everybody else says when they're looking to buy.
yeah, yeah.
As those costs been looked at, those tanks, I wonder what.
I don't know what the cost would be. You talking about taking them out? I don't have a clue what the cost would be.
Did anybody look at that?
No, I haven't. I have no clue what it costs. I've heard somewhere between 30 and 50.
Well, that'd be a deal. I don't know if I'd want to contact whoever to come look at that, then we might open up a can of worms too on that.
Exactly right.
Yeah,
TCEQ.
TCQ, yes.
But it don't-
But if
I mean-
if you contact them, we'd know for sure whether they're in there or not in there, right?
But what you do, you have to do something about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Again, I would
I
propose,
wouldn't think you'd have.
You wouldn't have to do it only if you're selling.
If the building was dormant, you shouldn't have to do anything, but if you were gonna sell it, it would have to be done.
I don't know if you have to, do you have to take them out to sell it? They just have to know that they're
They
there.
gotta
They'd be
be
aware of it, I'm sure.
Yeah, they had to be noticed of it, and there's a statute that even requires the private owners, which is in this case the county, to notify the TCEQ if their property is sold and who it was sold.
so again, we're discussing this, gentlemen, and again, I'm looking at either public auction or sealed bid route.
If you went the sealed bid route, do you have to go by the survey or what is it called? It's not survey. Appraisal.
No, you don't have to, you don't have to.
You just have to,
You just have to have it.
you just have to have it.
And that's around 3,000.
If you did the appraisal and you paid the 3,000, put the minimum at 3,000, get your money back.
Yeah, that was the deal. And we can, I hadn't checked in 5 months when I last checked. I checked with a certified appraiser in Brownwood. It's gonna be about $3,000. Of course, that fee may have gone up since then. And at that time, he was about 3 months behind. But I'll reach out and contact him, and I can bring this back. We can have this on the agenda again in 2 weeks for our commissioners court meeting.
But if we did that one time, we could do the sealed bid deal.
Sealed bid, take it, be done with it.
Yeah, that's right. I'm like, I'm tired of discussing this. We've been working on this for a long time. It's just whatever the commissioner court agrees on. And I'm guessing there's money in our budget to do a $3,000 appraisal somewhere. I don't know. That's another question mark we might have. If we could even do that.
Well, why don't we table it and then see if you can
Okay.
reach out and find out what the time frame is and the price. And then I'll look into where it's gonna come from and.
Okay, good point. I'll contact some certified appraisers.
Because that's kind of the way I'm. leaning, is
Okay.
to Go with the sealed bids and.
Well, I'll make a motion on number 19 on the old EMS building that we table till next in 2 weeks, and Commissioner Williams and myself will be getting more information to the court. That's my motion. Second by Commissioner Williams. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any other discussion? All right, number 20, consider an act on the new EMS building. A guy might want to come up here. I know that we need to do a change order regarding approve a door. We've added a door to it. And of course, we've already got these bids and specs done. And there's a new door that they're going to put inside. And that's why this is being presented to the court, correct?
yes, that's correct. We had 13th. There was a meeting between Dean Bailey, Jason Williams, Judge Johnson, EMS captain, and myself, and we all discussed this change order on the bay, the entrance bay between living quarters and the bays to, instead of having your standard 3-foot door, go to a 4-foot door and have a black painted. I also checked, as far as fire code, and I talked to David Schwartz, and he said that does not have to be a firewall. We put 5-inch drywall on each side, and that's plenty good. So the door does not need to be graded. And I passed this information on to Basic IDIQ, and they're waiting on y'all to sign off for it, then go ahead and order the door. Get this in place.
Okay. Questions, commissioners?
Purpose for wider doors to be able to move equipment back. and
Yeah.
forth.
Need that extra wider
Yes.
door, yeah. Any questions, gentlemen? I'll make a motion that we approve the change order to the door, the new EMS center. I got a second by Commissioner Parton. Any other questions, discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you, Guy. Okay, number 21, Commissioners' requests and reports. Commissioner Wright, take it away.
We've been hauling material on County Road 313, 412, 424, Bladen 505 and 506. That's about all I've been doing.
Okay, Commissioner Head.
We've been blading, of course, we had the ice and rain, but we've been blading, what we can, and when we had the moisture, and we've been working on the shop a little bit and, doing some shredding.
Okay, Commissioner Parton.
Put some side rails, hopefully that'll stay better than the boards on our dump truck. Of course, had the ice days that we were off 2 days. Doing some spot hauling on some roads and blading the roads as we can.
Okay, Commissioner Williams.
Yeah, again, bad weather kind of slowed us down in there, but we also did some maintenance on some trucks and stuff and, some admin days there. We had to cancel our workshop, and so we moved that to this last Monday, a week ago. It was very informational. I got out of that workshop that, and we discussed a ton of it today about having another workshop over subdivisions and purchasing. And it sounds like those are really needed after today's.
I think that's a good idea, yeah.
And, so I think I'll be working on trying to get a speaker to come to talk about the subdivisions. If on the speakers, I may have, Gerald might have you come in and just weigh in on something, and you can get up and leave or something on the subdivisions and have some on the subdivisions. Purchasing, we've got several purchasing agents that are already agents, but also we really need to get Summer's take on some few things. And so, we'll set those up maybe as 2 different ones. This week I've got IT meeting on Wednesday. We've been blading for County Road 432 and 433. And also on 433, the fiber optic is going in out there, and that's around the swinging bridge. Also working on County Road 550 and be working on the right of ways out there on 550 or 549 this week.
Okay,
At the next week, since I won't be here toward the end of the week, the 22nd to the 24th, I'll be in Austin. Then we'll have court on the 27th, and then I'll leave to go back to Austin for another workshop for the county. So
okay.
busy next couple of weeks for me.
Yes, everybody's been busy. Is that all, Commissioner Williams?
Yes, sir.
My report, number 22, County Judge Report. I was at the Lubbock County Judges Conference for 5 days. There's 90 new judges throughout the state. Judge Folk remembers Lubbock Conference probably, very intense, very educational. I'm on numerous boards, 7 or 8 boards. I had a meeting last week with the Hill Country Transit Board. I won't go into details, but they operate the HOP system, the bus that goes through Mills County. Tremendous respect for that group. A lot of lifts they give people in Mills County every day. And I've got another conference in College Station about 2 or 3 weeks, and that's all I've got.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion been made to adjourn. Second by Commissioner Head. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Adjourned. Everybody have a good day.